Greetings, Human Life Forms. I'm the Meister. Welcome back to another video. Today we are doing the Arizona Cardinals season predictions. We're going to start with the prediction series yet again because people are starting to do them again. So I figured I'd hop into the mix. So I decided to do the Cardinals. I'm pretty sure alphabetically they're the first team, but regardless, if you can see my poster back here, I didn't want to choose a team that was involved in the Aaron Rodgers situation, the Deshaun Watson situation, and the Julio Jones situation, so I chose a division that those players will most likely not go to, and the NFC West was the first one to pop up, and the Cardinals are just on the top of my poster. So we're doing the Arizona Cardinals today. I will be doing one for every single team, and then of course I'll be doing my full playoff predictions and all that, like I tried to do last year, but ran out of time to make them because I wasn't as consistent as I'd like to. But there's probably going to be at least one of these a week. So that's like 32 weeks, and the season's going to be back in 30. I might do more than 1 week, so it's fine. Just moving on, we're just going to get right into the thick of these predictions here. Week 1, we have the Arizona Cardinals at the Tennessee Titans. Now, the Tennessee Titans, they have a lot of young guys in defense, but last year their defense was terrible, and they lost Butler to the Cardinals, so this is a revenge game for him already. So I'm not a big fan of that Titans defense, and you look at the Titans offense, they still have Derrick Henry, amazing running back, Ryan Tannehill, solid quarterback, and then for the receiving situation, you still have A.J. Brown, but you lost Corey Davis, and he's a solid wide receiver. Obviously A.J. Brown is better, but still Corey Davis was a big weapon on that offense. And you lost Jonnu Smith, your tight end, to the Patriots, so I feel like it's going to be tougher for Ryan Tannehill to pass the ball. Of course, they still have Derrick Henry. He's going to be a huge help, but Ryan Tannehill does not have as many weapons to throw to anymore. And look at the Cardinals, what they've done. They do not have Larry Fitzgerald anymore, but they do have AJ Green, so either it's a plus or a minus. It's kind of like the John Brown Emmanuel Sanders situation. It's like kind of like the same player, kind of. Well, now in their careers. And the Cardinals also got James Conner. He's one of those questionable running backs, like Kenyon Drake. But when you look at the defense side of the ball, they did lose Patrick Peterson, but they got Butler from the Titans, and they also got J.J. Watt, a huge guy that will help to stop Derrick Henry, even though every time J.J. Watt has played against Derrick Henry, he's rushed for like over 300 yards on them. So it's going to be a shootout. I'm just going to flat out say it's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a tough game for either of these teams to win. So I think I'm going to have to go with the team with more weapons on the offensive side, and that is the Cardinals. Yes, the Titans can run it down their throat, but you can pass the ball a lot more than you can run the ball. So I'm going to go with the Cardinals for week 1. Week 2, Vikings at Cardinals. The Vikings are another interesting team. They're like a team that's like in the mix. Obviously, they have an explosive offense. They'll probably be just as explosive next season, if not more. And defensively, they have a lot of injured guys that are coming back from being injured. So, but the Vikings do have to travel cross-country to play. So I'm going to edge this one out to Arizona here. Now, week 3, Cardinals at the Jaguars. Jaguars can have a really sneaky good offense. They have James Robinson, 1,000-yard rushing running back. They have Trevor Lawrence, top pick, obviously. They have DJ Shark, and they also have Marvin Jones. He's a solid receiver that used to play for the Lions. Defensively, Shaquille Griffin, he's a great cornerback. I wouldn't say great, solid, but Jaguars have definitely improved, but Cardinals are just a lot better team currently than the Jaguars are. Next up, Cardinals at Rams. That's an interesting game. Rams obviously traded Jared Goff for Matthew Stafford. They had to give up a couple first-round picks, but I think it'll be worth it. And the Rams also acquired Deshaun Jackson. He still has some juice left in him. It's just going to be an insane offense. You got Cooper Kupp, you have Robert Woods, you have Matthew Stafford, and Deshaun Jackson, like I just mentioned, and you have Cam Akers, a really solid running back. In defense, you just have guys all around, with the most popular ones, Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey. They did lose John Johnson to the Browns. The defense probably won't be as great as it was a year ago, but it's still going to be top 10 easily. So, and the Rams are hosting the Cardinals here, so I got to go with LA for this one. Next up, Week 5, 49ers at Cardinals. The 49ers are a big question mark for me, because when they weren't injured, they went to the Super Bowl. And when they are injured, they go 6-10. But since then, they drafted Trey Lance, and they've lost a couple receivers, like Emmanuel Sanders, which was 2 years ago. But they still went 6-10 their first season without him. They lost a couple other receivers. They lost Richard Sherman. I still think he's a great cornerback. But they got rid of him. Still have some young guys that are returning, like Nick Bosa. He's a big guy. Another guy in the D-line. I forgot his name. But they've had a ton of injuries. They are healthy. I do have to give it to the 49ers here, because Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be out to prove something. And if he's still healthy, which I'm not going to predict any injuries, because that's just stupid to just predict injuries. Like, I'm going to predict Josh Allen to get injured week 2 and the Bills go 3-13. That's like a stupid biased prediction, in my opinion. So I'm going to just went out to the 49ers here. 3-2, off to an okay start. Week 6 now at the Browns. The Browns, I love the Browns. Cleveland Browns, top team in the league. Like, seriously, I absolutely love the Cleveland Browns. Top 3 team in the AFC behind the Bills, Chiefs. In my opinion, Browns offense is just stacked. You have Baker Mayfield. Yeah, he's going to be better next season, this coming season. Obviously, great running back duo in Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. And then, of course, you got wide receivers Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham Jr. Some other no-namers, but they are reliable. And then tight end, you still have Njoku, I'm pretty sure. And defensively, they got scary good this past offseason. They got Jadeveon Clowney. He was good for the Seahawks and Texans, but he got injured with the Titans. So now he kind of dipped down a little bit, but he's a very underrated guy. And opposite side, Myles Garrett, that is going to be a problem. Allen won't be able to run away from them. He's going to have to step up in the pocket for sure. But he isn't playing the Browns until probably the playoffs. And then they got John Johnson from the Rams, like I mentioned earlier. And, of course, they have Denzel Ward. So the Browns are going to be stacked. And the Browns are hosting. Got to go with the Browns here. Week 7, Texans at Cardinals. Now, at this point, I don't think Deshaun Watson is going to stay a Texan. Well, at least he ain't going to play for him anymore. Texans' defense is utter trash. Their offense, pretty bad. It'll get even worse without Deshaun Watson. So I'm going to easily take Arizona to finally get back on the win column. Packers at Cardinals. So I know I mentioned earlier that I wasn't going to pick any teams that are involved with these teams. but they are here. So I'm just gonna predict anyways. Packers at Cardinals. Now, Aaron Rodgers with the Packers, explosive offense, like top 5 offense in the league. Aaron Rodgers, obviously MVP. Devontae Adams. You got Marquez Valdez-Scantling. You got Robert Tonyan. You got Aaron Jones. Just studs all around and a great offensive line. Probably won't be as good as last year because they lost some guys, but it'll still be pretty solid. And defense, they have a great defense. They have Zadarius Smith, the Smith brothers, I should just say, with Preston Smith as well. They also have Jay Alexander, top 5 corner in the league. So the Packers are just a really good team. This is Thursday night prime time also. So this is like if Kyler can take that next step and beat a contender. I mean, I know they beat Seattle, but the Seahawks are not Super Bowl contenders. The Seahawks are definitely not Super Bowl contenders. They're definitely playoff contenders, but I don't think they're Super Bowl contenders. I just got to go with the more prepared team here. Packers, a lot more talent on the defense against the Cardinals. So I think that's going to be the deciding factor here. They're going to get an extra turnover on Kyler Murray, and that is going to be the game. So next up, Cardinals at 49ers. I got to go with the Cardinals here because by now, Jimmy Garoppolo might not be the starter at this point. At least I don't think halfway through the season. I don't think he's going to last too long. So I think the Cardinals are going to take advantage of that rookie quarterback, and they're going to make Trey Lance make a ton of mistakes, and the Cardinals are going to get out of here with a victory. So Week 10, still don't have a bye week. You have the Panthers at the Cardinals. Panthers, I think, are a very underrated team. Defense is underrated. Not too much, but they are underrated. Offense is very underrated. Even though Sam Darnold, terrible stats, he's got a lot more weapons around him. People thought he was going to be good with Le'Veon Bell, but Christian McCaffrey, he ain't going to have a suddenly bad year. Unless that injury really did do something to him. But Christian McCaffrey is really going to help Sam Darnold out. Sam Darnold won't have to make any decisions that he doesn't want to. And, of course, the Panthers also have DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson, a great duo. And Anderson has already played with Sam Darnold, so he knows how he plays. So this is going to be a really good game, but the Panthers have to travel cross country to play the Cardinals with fans, so I got to take the Cardinals here. Week 11, another regular game. They've only had one primetime game so far. Cardinals at Seahawks. Seahawks defense, not the best defense, but they definitely have a top 10 offense if their offensive line is good, that is. They have DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, of course they have Russell Wilson and Chris Carson. So that's going to be a handful for that Cardinals defense. But I think J.J. Watt is, with Chandler Jones, is going to be a problem for Russell Wilson. He's going to have to get the ball out pretty fast. But I think with a healthy Chris Carson that the Seahawks will be able to edge out the win against the Cardinals here. And now they enter their bye 6-5. Probably not the best start for a season. Oh, I hope you guys can see the bottom matchups. I checked that, but there's more in the center. I'm sure you guys can. So going into the bye week, 6-5. Obviously, I think the team looks better than a 6-5 start, but that's just how the schedule is working out. So coming off the bye, an extra week of preparing for the Chicago Bears and their fans. Bears probably want to have Andy Dalton starter at this point. He'll probably be in the hands of Justin Fields. And of course, the Bears got Terry Cohen and Ty Montgomery, two solid running backs, and Allen Robinson, a stud wide receiver. And then, of course, defensively, they did lose Kyle Fuller, but it's still going to be a pretty good Bears defense with Khalil Mack, and of course, you have Eddie Jackson. He is going to be a threat as well to Kyler Murray. But the Cardinals are coming off their bye with an extra week of preparation for this game, so I got to take the Cardinals here. Week 14, this is an interesting one. Hosting the Rams. This is a big game for the Cardinals' playoff hopes, I think. But, I don't think the Cardinals are ready to take on the Rams. I think the Rams are on a completely different level than the Cardinals. My poster might not show it, but trust me, I think the Rams are a lot better than the Cardinals. Honestly, as OTA McDermott, currently OTA McDermott, probably end up to training camp McDermott or something else McDermott, or just back to off-season McDermott. But Rams, definitely the better team in this game. If you don't know what the McDermott thing is, it's my Twitter account on my Twitter. So if you guys want to see stuff I post or just want to support me, I'll leave the Twitter in the description below. But now, week 15, getting into the thick of things in December. Cardinals at Lions. Defensively for the Lions, no thank you. Offensively for the Lions, they have a solid offensive line. Probably top 10, if I had to guess. Yeah, top 10 offensive line. With Frank Ragnow and Penei Sewell, which is going to be really good for Jared Goff. But, unfortunate for him, he has no wide receivers to throw to, which is a big problem for me. So I got to go with the Arizona Cardinals easily in this game. Week 16. Hosting Carson Wentz and the Colts. This is a huge game for both these playoff teams. When you look over at the Colts and what they are doing, obviously Carson Wentz, he was close to winning an MVP under Frank Reich. So I'm going to expect him to be a lot better than he was last season. And of course he has T.Y. Hilton and Pittman. I forgot his first name, but I don't think that really matters. Pittman is another solid wide receiver for the Colts, even though he dropped a touchdown pass against the Bills. Anyways, he has a full off season to prepare for this game, so I don't know if he'll be dropping as many passes as last year, and it's not in the playoffs, so that's good news for him. Now, the defense for the Colts, amazing. They have Darius Leonard, they have number 99, DeForest Buckner, Darius Leonard, which I already mentioned, and of course they have Xavier Rhodes that had a better year with the Colts rather than with his former team, which was the Vikings, if I remember correctly. So this is going to be a really good game. Really good game. But the Colts do have to travel cross country. I'm going to give this one to the Cardinals here. So 9-6 going to face off. Oh, Saturday. Wait, 2 Saturday games? 2 Saturday games in a row. Jeez. Okay. So Cardinals at Cowboys. Saturday primetime, I guess. This is going to be a shootout. It really is. Cowboys defense, we know how bad they were last season, but they had an amazing draft, which is going to definitely help that defense. And on the offense, I think we all know how good their defense is going to be. Dak Prescott, hopefully non-fumbling Ezekiel Elliott. They have Amari Cooper, and of course they've got a great offensive line. And I know they have other wide receivers, but I can't think of their names right now, so do not make fun of me. I don't have a big packet of names. I'm not going to remember them, but they have an amazing wide receiving group. Because I'm just the average fan. I'm not going super in-depth with this. I probably am, though, because this is like a 20-minute video. But this is going to be a shootout regardless. Cowboys are probably going to be fighting for that NFC East title against the football team. Washington football team. This is going to be a shootout. But, I think the Cowboys are going to pull off a crazy one. Now, Week 18, Seahawks at Cardinals. Huge game, possibly for a playoff spot. I'm going to take the Cardinals. I think J.J. Watt and Chandler Jones are going to screw with Russell Wilson's head. I think the Cardinals will game plan better for Chris Carson the second time around. That's if he's still healthy, which, again, I said I'm not predicting injuries. But I think the Cardinals definitely get this done, and they're at home. So that's a big help for the Cardinals with fans. So they end off the season with a W to end off the season 10-7, which I hit a button. Okay, we're good. Oh, I think that is a back arrow or undo button. Anyways, I have the Cardinals going 10-7, possible playoffs. This is the first thing I've done, so I haven't made predictions for any other the 31 teams yet. But stay tuned for them; they will be coming out soon. So 10-7 for the Arizona Cardinals. If I was a Cardinals fan, I wouldn't complain with it. I'd take it. But yeah, that is the video for today. Real quick, once I reach level 100 in my Fire Wizard 101, I'll be streaming Darkmoor over on Twitch, which I'll leave in my Twitch, which is in the description below. And I also have an Instagram. I don't really use that much, but I'll leave it in the description if you want to support me anyways. And I already talked about my Twitter, description below, like always. But yeah, that is all. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I don't have much else to say except life forms out.